As the final buzzer sounded on the Pistons' 2023 season, two die-hard fans, Mickey and Harry, each passed out and witnessed a vision. They were visited by Detroit's very own mascot, Hooper, the stallion ablaze, who told them the only way the Pistons would ever win a championship again was if these two men started a podcast. To be clear, they said, do we really have to do this? I mean, aren't there enough Pistons podcasts already? It seems like this might be overkill. But Hooper dunked on them, right in their face, and said, your team needs you. He presented them with a prophecy. Now it is their duty to help Detroit rise again and become champions. The Order of the Blazing Horse. Welcome back to another brand spanking new episode of the Order of the Blazing Cheval Horse. I am, the only Detroit Pistons podcast.
Number one
Detroit Pistons podcast based on a mystical prophecy
that I know of.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any.
Name one more.
Yo, Reddit says the name goes hard. It's all over Reddit saying the name goes hard as hell. And shout out to Reddit and people on Reddit for saying that. And shout out to Hooper for delivering the podcast to us.
Praise horse.
Make praise horse. Hey, that is. I am one of those prophets, Harry Morrows, touched by a horse, not in an inappropriate way, in a very consensual and mystical way. Joined, as always, by my co-host with the most out on the West Coast.
I'm Mickey Jacobs, happy to be chopping it up with my one and only boy, Harry Morrows, as in more O's, if you know what I'm saying. Make you feel good. But
let me show you my more O's face.
You get where I'm going with it. Not a whole lot going on. How are you, Harry? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Got done getting my ass whooped in some disc golf today by my friggin' nemesis. But it's okay. I'm in a slump. I'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it.
These things happen.
These things do happen. Got a lot of yard work done as well. Figuring that whole thing out. Anything else in my life? All that new and cool? Not really. Mickey, how about you?
Not a whole lot. Well, sort of a whole lot. Congratulations, belated congratulations to the happy couple. My girlfriend and sister Hillary married my dear college buddy Andy, and they had a beautiful ceremony in Chicago. We went to the Windy City for a little matrimony action, dude, and it was lovely. It was a really beautiful occasion. It was officiated by one of my oldest, dearest friends. I love love. What can I say? I love love almost as much as I love the Pistons.
Oh, that's
and that's how you know.
That's so it's a lot. I can't believe Andy married her, even though her emails.
I know. And Benghazi, you know. But hey, that's the power of love.
Power of love, as it says in the news. Right? By the news, dude. I'm so happy you had a lovely weekend.
It was really nice.
The love, and you're back in LA now. That's pretty sweet as well. Living it up, having a good time, and Mickey, we got 4 weeks. 4 weeks until we get some basketball from the Pistons here.
I'm jonesing. I don't know about you, but I could use a little hoops. Ooh. I've just been like, I just feel like the only news that's come out has been just like about like corruption and and in the NBA too. I
thought you were talking about in the NBA.
It could be about it. No, but I was talking about basketball, but it's sort of pervasive, you could say. But I'm ready for some Rico Hines footy. I want some like training camp content. I'm ready for a little. I'm ready to overreact to some preseason games. How about you?
Yo, I'm ready to react to some media day comments coming out next week. Right, we're a week away from that and hearing some great, exciting things about the development of this young team. The only real development we've got so far is that the Pistons signed Quincy Olivari to a training camp deal. He's like a 6'3" combo guard. He shoots a lot. Cool.
Hey, Pistons caught a body. We gotta. No, that's cool. hey, who knows? Maybe he shows out. You never know.
You never know.
Know what happens at camp.
Welcome to the squad, young fella, and all the best to you. And like I hope it works out well. I feel like 2 years ago I would have been salivating at this news, like, oh yeah, maybe they'll be somebody. Maybe this is gonna be it for this team. And now it's like, all right.
You know what? There's guys who we pick up who I like am such a sicko that I'm like, oh man, who could forget Braxton Key and Stanley Umude? And these are at least
Tosan. He's back.
Stanley, yeah, Tosan, the Brit, I believe Brit.
Princeton's finest.
I think Stanley's still in the league. I think he's a buck still. Yeah. So
I like Stanley. Stanley put good minutes for us.
Me too. Mm-hmm. Good shooter when we needed desperately good shooting. So, I'm always ready to have my eyes opened by just young go-hards.
Mm-hmm. Also, shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers for signing Pistons legend Killian Hayes to.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's with the Cavs now. So
the Cavs are their affiliate.
I don't know. I saw Cleveland Cavaliers signed him, but who knows to what that means? It could be a training camp deal. It could be their G League team. Who knows? All that. Are you looking it up right now to see what the deal is?
Yeah, he said to join for training camp, and yep.
Training camp. Good luck.
It's a training camp invite.
Good luck to him.
Who knows?
Do it up. Maybe you can get back.
Maybe you can go right. Maybe we can find out. Yeah.
Who knows? The opposite of Cam Thomas, I suppose, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The inverse together, those two.
Defense and distribution, no scoring. Yeah, it's but I mean, that's a good thing to have for training camp.
Yeah,
that's a good. And actually, jokes aside, that would be a good thing to have on your G League squad in terms of just setting the table for anyone you want to see get good looks. He can pass and he can play defense. So there you go.
Solid news for Killian. Good for him. Good for us for moving onward and upward.
I've moved on. I'm fine. Yeah. I don't think about him. His perfect hairline ever.
It is a good hairline.
He's a handsome kid. He's a good looking guy.
Mm-hmm. So we've been thinking about the team. We've been talking about, and if you're here tuning in, watching this, the name of this episode is Forced to Be Reckoned With, because the clear question the Pistons have outside of has their youth developed? Are they going to extend anybody? The actual make of this team, the big hole that people see on this team is the backup 4 position, and kind of the 4 position moving onward, because Tobias is only signed through this year. That's it for him. And Tobias is in his mid-30s, well, early mid-30s, his early 30s, as you will. So Tobias did get named one of the 100 best players in the NBA right now. I think he's in the 80s, which is pretty cool for him. Pistons got 3 with Cade. I think Cade got number 12. Yeah. Yo, that's a steep rise from 67 last year.
He's that dude. He is that dude.
I think he's too short of where he should be, but that's neither here nor there. Let's not push it too much out here. But again, we're talking about the 4 position and also the Jaden Ivey position, and what this team needs to do to upgrade, if they should upgrade. What any of that should happen. There's also been news that Devin Booker's not super happy in Phoenix, because Phoenix is just an absolute mess right now. So real quick, because this is one thing Mickey and I are in agreement on without a doubt. Mickey, tell them where we stand on the idea of the Pistons going after Devin Booker.
Yeah, I mean, I think our opinion was largely influenced by Bryce and Omari, because they've sort of talked, or maybe it's Bryce and Sam, or at least I know I've been sort of taking cues from them talking about it. I think there's a lot of overlap in their game, and I also think I think they do a lot of the same things. And I love that Booker, for the Olympic team, for instance, was down to get dirty and play defense. But I just think they're both pretty on ball guys. And I think Devin Booker is super expensive.
50 and 60 are in the next 2 years.
Yeah. And so even if he were to become available, I don't know if that's necessarily the perfect archetype next to Kid. Can he play defense? Yeah. Can he score? Yeah. Can he pass the ball? Yeah. So I don't know. The more I'm saying it out loud, maybe I feel like it's just the money. I feel like how do you feel about it?
So for me, at first, it was just the money and what you'd have to give up, because we'll get into what I would rather give up for somebody else a little bit later. But when I think about him, him compared to, let's say, in this case, you're moving on from Jaden Ivey, right? Can I tell you what I'm going to go in descending order? The last 5 years. Let's go. I'm going to go the last 7 years of Devin Booker's career from 3-point range. What his percentage are? Are you ready for this?
Yeah, hit me. Last
year, 33%. The year before that, 36%. Year before that, 35%. Year before that, 38%. Year before that, 34%. Year before that, 35%. Year before that, 32%. He has a career 35% 3-point shooter. That ain't great.
Yeah.
That's
I feel like that's on volume though, right? Like that's on like
7.
Okay.
Like career, it's at 6. So like 35 at 6. You know what Jaden Ivey was last year? 41 at like 5.
Yeah.
That's better.
But I will say Devin Booker had the greenest of green lights in Phoenix. So maybe that hasn't always like equated to the best shot selection in the world. And also he's definitely a better defender and probably a better playmaker than, although you could surprise me with those stats and I wouldn't be shocked, but he's definitely a better
turnovers a game, 3.
To how many assists?
Career 5.2. So 5 to 3.
Okay.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not like so much better. It's not so much better, but it's a usage thing too. He has a ton of usage, like more usage than Ivy. Like if Ivy's usage were to go up, his assists would go up, but his turnovers would go up too.
Right. And like, so the thing to me, just the thing about it is like the idea of Booker's like, he's such a pure shooter. He can defend, he scores a ton. He's a great ball handler, but like the numbers don't quite back it up. I mean, like you said, it's situational and all that jazz. But if you're moving on from Ivy, and Ivy would cost considerably less than Devin Booker, he's not getting the max, right? He's not getting 50 and 60 to that amount. But if Ivy ends up being a better 3-point shooter and the other numbers are similar, I'd gladly take him for 20 million, 30 million less.
Yeah.
Like that's not even close to a question for me. So the idea of Devin Booker coming to the Pistons for me is out. For you,
I'm not. I think he's really good, but I think like the issue is not that. Like I was talking about the fit. Like I do think he's very similar to Cade in terms of not like saying they have similar stats, but just in terms of like how they've operated as number one guys on their team. But it hamstrings you in terms of, you know, when we're going to, like, I think we can all agree that Asar is a long-term part of this team. Mm-hmm. We don't know that about Ron, but he's definitely exciting. Mm-hmm. And like, you want to sort of like make room for that. And I think we're going to need a 4. Like we're about to get into it, but we're going to need a 4. And whether that person is like another star or another max player, or just like a really good role player, you're still going to need upwards of $20 million a year for that person. And Duren is going to need a little more than that as well. So, you know, like we could just be an over the cap team, but we don't have to be. And as cool as I think it would be to have like a Grand Rapids native back in Detroit, like, I don't know that that's the move. I will say in terms of point guard, I mean, he had Tyus Jones though. Because I was about to say that he hasn't had anyone as good as Cade since CP3 in terms of getting him looks.
Who's had anybody as good as Cade getting them looks?
Well, but like CP3 is like the point guard, and like since that, but like, you know, Tyus Jones can get you good looks. The gravity of Kevin Durant can get you looks like that. I think Cade is great at finding open guys and shooters, but like, it's not like, as I'm saying it out loud in real time, I'm like, it's not like Devin Booker hasn't played with good connectors.
Yeah,
he has.
I think he would be good on this team. To me, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Like the squeeze is too much. We're talking about how much of the cap you're going to take up with a player like that. You talk about like what you have to give up, because chances are you'd have to give up Ivy plus what, like 3 first-round picks or something like that, and like then you have to match salary on top of it. So you also have to give up Tobias and like several other players. Like it just ain't worth it.
It's a lot of money. It's so much money. It's
so much money to a guy who doesn't solve all your problems, who just like ups one position better. And this is where I want to shift to the conversation about the power forward, because I like Tobias and I want him to be back next year. And I like him on this team. I think he's a great fit. But I think you and I can both agree that it'd be nice to have something either behind him or something, or like a player to start over him in the next couple of years, next year or so, who's like a starting caliber player. And Michael Pina of Bleacher Report wrote this article. He said on Blue Sky, he's like, this is the article I've been waiting my whole life to write. And it was the idea that the Pistons should make a play for Lauri Markkanen. And the trade he proposed was Lauri Markkanen into the Pistons for Jaden Ivey, Tobias Harris, Bobby Klintman, and 2 firsts. And we talked about Lauri earlier this year, and I was like, no, I don't think so. I'm not so into it. I read this article, and the more I was thinking about it, now this is kind of what I want to happen. And I also want to iterate this. Like, I don't need this to happen because I believe in Jaden Ivey. I think Jaden Ivey is very good. My big hesitation is like something along what happened with Shea. Not that I think Ivey will become what Shea is, but like the Shea for Paul George deal is nuts, right? Like you got Shea, you got all these first round picks to get Paul George, who was fine, like just fine. But like Oklahoma City is just like thriving because of it. The picks, the whole trade that the Pistons giving up for Lauri is different. It's not as much. You're giving up 2 first round picks. I'd rather give up 1 and like some second round picks. That'd be great. But like that's neither here nor there. The reason I would do this, Mickey, is because I would love a 7-foot tall front court if rumors of Duran's 3-inch growth spurt are true. You get like a
How many seasons have we heard rumors of players having like who it was Duran before, right? Or was it Duran or was it Cade?
It was Cade. I think it was Cade.
Cade had a.
But my case for Duran is like he's what 22 years old. I had my second growth spurt when I was 24. So like it's not out of the realm of possibility.
It's not impossible. It's just funny because it's kind of a recurring joke at this point.
Absolutely. Like, whether or not it's true, he's at least 6'11", and he's got those rippling,
just bulging, shredded, carved out of marble kind of body. And the vascularity, don't even get me started on the vascularity, the veins popping.
What more can I say about his muscles that hasn't been said about the terrain? This land is your land. This land is my land.
Oh, get ready, dude. Season's right around the corner. They're gonna be You're
gonna have to get some napkins in the announcer booths because they're gonna be drooling over this man.
I need to start like recording because I think for more casual listeners, like they might just think we're like perverts and like don't understand that this is like actually happens like every game or every other game with opposing broadcasters who just like are drooling over him.
It's so gross. It's so really gross.
What a specimen. That's my favorite one is specimen.
It's like talented Mr. Ripley levels of like obsession that they have with him. It's so funny. But like back to the point, Lauri is true 7. Duran is also huge. Lauri is a 3-point shooter, like 37%, I think, career from volume, like 7+. So that's good too. Lauri is a proven first option on some teams, could be proven second option on this. He would be the second option if he was on this team. That wouldn't be the question.
Certainly.
The guy scores over 20 points a game. He gets rebounds. He shoots threes. He can dunk and he can play outside. So he's inside and outside. He's played for JB Bickerstaff before. If there are defensive concerns, fine. But let's see what we can get out of him from JB and in this whole like rotation, especially with Asar next to him. And the reason I say it's like fine to me is because there are also defensive concerns about Jaden Ivey. And so what I really broke it down to, and the reason I was like for this trade is we know for sure, there is evidence for sure that Lauri shoots the 3, that Lauri is big, and that Lauri scores a lot of points. There's evidence of that.
Yeah.
With Ivy, we don't know that the turnovers are going to be down. We don't know that the defense is going to get better. We don't know if the 3-point shot is going to continue. I will be willing to bet that the 3-point shot is going to continue. I think it will. It looks good, and I think he's going to score a lot of points. I think he's going to be great. My question to you, Mickey, is and we'll move on to like your perspective overall after this, but like, are you where I'm trying to come from is I think that it is harder to find a viable 4 for a good amount of money than it is to and to bet that Jaden Ivey can for sure be your secondary option, that he can for sure be a 20-point scorer next to Cade. I think it is harder to do that than to acquire Lauri and find a 3-and-D 2 to put next to Cade, who then doesn't have to be the second scoring option. He just has to hit open shots.
Yeah. And by the way, that Lauri's 28. He's 28 years old. He's in his prime. Everything you said is true about his size. I think that fit wise, he makes a lot of sense with this team. Sorry, what was your question? Because I don't want to just ramble about it. I want to answer in a pointed way.
Essentially, do you think it would be easier or harder to like find a 4 and like count on Ivy, or to find a 3-and-D 2 and expect what we've seen from Lauri to continue?
Oh, I definitely think the 4 is a harder position to nail down and like find. I think what we're already seeing with these two guards whose like best skill is just their scoring ability is that their value is going down. So, even if Ivy like keeps up his shooting, which by the way, his shooting got better every year at Purdue. He has like, when he's not in like a bizarre freak system that just like penalizes him for no reason, like showed a lot of improvement shooting, and he wants to be great, and he wants to be in Detroit, and he works really hard. But I think there's a lot to like there. And I think there's like, as we've talked about with continuity, like we talk about how valuable it is, and we've just like through circumstance not been able to see a ton. But Ivy's also, for all of the defensive and turnover issues, like it's tough to take that 30 game sample size and say that's who he is, because he's been streaky. He's been streaky for good, and he's been streaky for bad. He's had like lights out games where he's shooting like 66, like, and then he's had just like weeks where he can't buy a bucket. And like, that happens, but that's sort of like, it's not as though his percentage is like a consistent, he's not super consistent. He pops off and he drops off. So yeah, I definitely see the value there. But I have more stuff about the 4 that I think. But should we dive in?
And I want to get into it. But right before I do, my big pause, and this is by far my biggest pause outside of all the stuff you said, which is true. And like, again, I love Ivy and I love him to be on this team. My big pause with moving on from him is that Cade has some clutch moments. Ivy has a ton of clutch moments. He is our clutch closing guy. He hit 2 big game-winning shots, and I've mentioned this before. In
30 games, he hit 2 epic buzzer-beating,
right,
or like crazy freak. He's got magic too.
I want to look this up. I want to look up in his 30 games how many of those games at the end of a quarter in the final possession did he score the basket? Because I think it's more than, and I bet a lot of them happened with like less than 3 seconds left on the clock.
He also got really good at getting to the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, so that's a huge skill that, like, things started to change for Cade, but it's not like his go-to move like it is Jaden or Ron's.
Right. So I'm not like rushing to make this happen. I'm not like demanding they make this happen, because I'll be happy either way. I'll be good either way. And I expect Ivy to be good either way. It's just, I land more on I think it's harder to fill the 4 spot than it is to fill the 2 spot. And with this specific 4 spot move, we know we're getting a guaranteed secondary option who scores over 20 points a game and can shoot the 3. Like that, completely. That works for me. So
yeah,
what is, because you told me off air, he's not really the guy that you're that interested in. So what is your dream scenario?
Well, here's what I will say. That deal that you described, Tobias, Ivy, Bobby Klintman, and 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that deal. I would probably greenlight that deal. I do not think the Pistons are going to trade Tobias to Utah. I don't think they're going to do that. I could be wrong. We only have 1 season with Trajan, so I don't know who he is. I don't know how much he values Lauri Markkanen. I don't know how willing. Who is it in? Who runs the Jazz? Ainge. Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how like desperate they are to get off of him, but
it seems like desperate. Like they're cleaning house.
Okay. Well, like, look, I'm saying on its face, that's a hard deal to say no to. I would probably say yes to that deal. I love the fit. I love having like Lauri could play minutes at the 5. Like you could have lineups where he's at the 5. Like we get the stretch big thing. With him, he's not a unicorn in that he doesn't play defense really. Like Lauri doesn't play defense, but he is like a 7'4" who can shoot. Like that is so huge. And he's had a couple 2 to 3 really good seasons.
He was an all-star. Like was he an all-star?
Yeah, but he's been in the league for like a handful of years, and that was sort of like a breakout. And then last year was like not bad, but there were injuries and there were question marks, and there were also what the hell is Utah doing? But just on I think in a vacuum, I take that deal for sure. Like I like the idea. I like the lineup better with Lauri at the 4 than Tobias at the 4, and you figure out the 2. You know, like Duncan could start if you needed to at the 2, if you wanted just like more shooting, or
use that trade exception. Get somebody.
Get some. Yeah, ideally someone who plays defense. But
low key, I would love to be Keon Ellis. That's my guy that I've got eyes on.
We talked about Keon Ellis. Makes a lot of sense. Can shoot 3-and-D guy. I don't think the Pistons are going to trade Tobias Harris because I think so much of what made us special last season was the culture. And Tobias was a huge part of that. He is now pretty much the only returning vet. Am I crazy? If we don't get Malik,
we got Paul Reed.
Okay. And no knock on B-ball Paul.
He's like 25 years old.
Right. So Tobias Harris, all anyone said, Omari, everybody was just talking about how his like on the court and off the court, in the locker room, like just huge for the team, and wouldn't be surprised if he stays with the organization. Now you very sagely pointed out that they could bring him back even after they trade him and he could come off the bench, and that's possible. But I think to like just completely get rid of that vet leadership that he brings, like I just don't see them doing that as much for Lauri, who doesn't play defense or move the ball particularly well, by the way. Not that like we don't have a bunch of guys who can do that, but yeah, my concern is the money, and my concern is that he has had good seasons, but like he's not like for the contract that he's on. I don't know that he's like the proven quantity that he's being paid as. And I think in a similarly Devin Booker way, it hamstrings your flexibility to bring in talent and pay the young guys that you have.
I agree. It's significantly cheaper. It's like $10 million cheaper per year than the Devin Booker's contract would be, but it's still a lot of money. It
ascends, does it not? I feel like it gets to be like 56 at one point or something. It's
right, but the salary cap is also going to increase like over time.
That's true.
What 50 million is right now is not what 50 million is going to be then. And we also have to take in mind, like, yeah, he might not live up to like number 1 player, $50 million a year money, but we're talking about the number 2 option, $50 million a year in over the course of like the next 4 years money or whatever that is. So like, I don't think the contract will be as bad. I mean, like, did you think the Tobias Harris contract mattered that much the way Tobias was playing last year?
No,
not really.
No.
Right. And he's an overpay without a doubt. If you have to overpay somebody, I don't mind if it guarantees you a second option. Again, not saying you have to do this, and it will hamstring you because I don't know if you can fit like Ron Holland and Asar Thompson and Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart, like, into the cap, like what apron that would pay you at, or even if you'd be capable of doing so. I just think that you have an opportunity to like advance this team a little bit and like really opening up a scoring threat.
So do you, let me ask you a question, because I think what like is sort of popping up in my head is this sort of debate between, do you need 2 stars or star-ish players, or can you have 1 star and a bunch of really good pieces? And I guess what I would ask you is, because I think you're going to say you do need 2 stars.
I think if you,
And that's what I think
if
that's
you want
what
to
a
win
lot
a
of people.
championship, you have to have two players that score 20 points a game.
So do you think that that player is not one of the young guys that we're developing?
It very much could be Ivy. Like it very much could be, I think. It could be Ron. I think Ron's a little far away from it. I don't think Asar's ever going to be like a 20 point per game scorer. I don't think Duran's ever going to be a 20 point per game scorer. So it's really down to, is it going to be Ivy or Ron? And if it is, that's great. And then you can like push away from Lauri in the future. But like, if it's going to be Ron, it's not going to be Ron next year. It might be Ron in 2 years, might be Ron in 3 years. If it's going to be Ivy, it's going to be Ivy next year. But if it is Ivy and you have Lauri, then Ivy's not on this team already. So you don't know, right? That's what I'm saying is like Ivy could be that guy. He could be your secondary scorer. We just don't know if he is yet. And Lauri, we know for sure is, but we'll never know because they'll never be on the same team. That would never be a complication.
Yeah. I take that deal, by the way. I actually don't think that's like, because everyone said that Ainge is like crazy and wouldn't take anything less than like a trove for Markkanen. And I think he makes so much sense next to Cade. Like, but there are some other names that I think are interesting that allow you to remain flexible if another star 4 comes around, or another like a really great like 2 guard comes along that you're like, this is the guy if Ivy's not the guy. Keegan Murray is a name that I keep thinking of. And the reason I think about him is because I think his value's gone down, and I think that his future in Sacramento is a question mark. His rookie year, I think he shot like 41% from 3. I don't know the attempts. But ever since then, it's dipped to like 36, 34-ish. But like, what the hell is going on over there, man? Like they have a bunch of forwards. They have a bunch of guys who can score. They don't really have like, I mean, now they have a weird log jam at the guard position. Like he's not been put in a position to thrive.
They're trying to get Jonathan Kuminga right now. Like they're in talks to trade for Jonathan Kuminga from the Golden State Warriors. Which boggles my mind.
That's crazy.
If that's the case, you have Zach LaVine, Dennis Schroeder, Keegan Murray on the team still, DeMar DeRozan, Domantas Sabonis, and then you have Jonathan Kuminga on top of it. Plus, like I said, you have Keanu Ellis, Malik Monk, and Devin Carter. Like maybe Devin Carter's out in this like trade or whatever, but like, what is the direction of this team? If this team is so much in question, I think Keegan Murray he's on the table. And so tell me why you think he would be such a great fit in Detroit. And then afterward, tell me what you think it would cost to get him if he was really on the table, if he was really in play.
Well, okay. So yeah, because I was going to ask you, like, would you rather have Keanu Ellis and Keegan Murray, or would you rather have Lauri Markkanen?
So like that,
I know that's hyper specific.
It is hyper specific. My answer is I would rather have Lauri Markkanen because in both cases there's no Jaden Ivey, right?
Yeah, let's say that.
Okay.
Let's say in one situation we lose him in the trade, and in another situation we can't agree on a number that both parties are satisfied with for extension.
Right. I think either way we'd have to lose him in the trade, just like money wise.
Right.
But the reason I say Lauri over Keegan, even though I love Keegan and I love Keanu Ellis, is we don't know what the ceiling of Keegan Murray is, just like we don't know what the ceiling of Jaden Ivey is. And if anything, we think the scoring ceiling of Jaden Ivey is a little bit higher. So if you acquire these two guys to be in your starting lineup, who is your second option on offense?
I mean, I think it could be like nebulous, like which is sort of how we did it last season, which isn't the most satisfying. You want to say, look, here's our 2-headed monster, but like, I don't think it needs to necessarily be that way. And I don't think the Pistons have necessarily always operated that way. And I'm like thinking about how our culture has been and how our culture is. And one of my like Lauri red flags is like, we're trading one guy, Ivy, who's not good defensively, and Tobias, who for all of his aging and like sometimes inconsistency and shooting has been really good on defense.
Surprisingly, apparently.
And Lauri's worse. Like he's a 7-footer, which is worth something, but he's worse on D. So you get worse defensively, at least in that trade.
Maybe, like, truly, maybe.
I think like, I forget his stock numbers, but I don't think Lauri's going to give you as many stocks as Tobias did.
He might not.
And I know that's just one part of defense, right. By the way. That's not. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you very well could not. But like, remember, even at the beginning of last season, I staunchly did not want Tobias because his defensive reputation was so abysmal. And then you get put into the system. You're next to a Sar Thompson, and like you're on this mentality of like, this is the way we play the game, and this is the way we communicate. Everyone's defense got better. Everyone raised up.
I know, but you're asking. Sorry.
Are you saying I'm asking a guy who's 28 to get better at defense?
No, you're asking a guy who's not shown his ability to do a thing.
That's what I'm saying Tobias did last year.
Tobias has been like an okay defender, I think, throughout it. Has he not?
Like the big
was that peak stocks? Was that peak? Well, I thought the peak reason was his contract and the expectations. Like, I feel like Tobias like has been like somewhat of a presence on defense in his career. Was that a peak defensive year for him?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, please.
That was the reason I did not want him on the team, is because my friends in Philly, Mike Benner, shout out Mike Benner, good luck in business.
It's fun.
Specifically, we're complaining about his defense. People were like, my God, this guy's defense. All right, so his stock numbers last year, Tobias averaged a steal and 0.8.
That's really good.
Blocks. Very similar numbers. The year before that, a steal, 0.7. The year before that, 0.9, 0.5. The year before that, 0.6, 0.6. The year before that, 0.9, 0.7. The year before that, 0.7, 0.6. Before that, 0.6, 0.5, 0.9, 0.4. So somewhere in like the 1.3 to 1.8 range is where he's been. Let me look at what Lauri's are. So Lauri, 1 is 0.7, 0.4, 0.9, 0.5, 0.6, 0.6, 0.7, 0.5. So like lower by what? 0.3 stocks, by 0.5 stocks?
Yeah, can I like make my long-winded. I'm trying to think about guys, two-way guys who fit the identity and don't hamstring us for the future. And could Lauri get better at defense? Absolutely. Is there like necessarily precedent to show that he will? No, not necessarily. So I'm thinking about like, is Keegan Murray the second option? Not necessarily. Is he a guy who can knock down shots and lock dudes up and is 6'8" and not like a guy who's going to get moved off the block? Like, yeah. And also, if Asar pops off, or if Ron pops off, or if someone else becomes available, we would then probably have flexibility to get them. And I'm just trying to think about like Pistons culture and like their play style, which is not necessarily like a bunch of stars, but like a bunch of well-rounded role players who do their thing really well. And the feather in their cap is the defense.
Yeah.
So that's sort of where I'm coming at it. I can't stress enough. I probably just take that deal if they offer it. Like if that was like a real thing offered by Ainge, it's very difficult to say no to. But I do think there are like a little bit of patience, and Pistons fans have been patient for so long. And I understand the desire to just make a fucking swing, just to like do something, like let's try some shit. And like, how bad could Lauri be? And the answer is probably like, even his floor is pretty good, like pretty damn good. But like, that's a contract that could upset people if he can't replicate what he's done like 2 seasons ago, 1 season ago.
Okay. So let's go back to the Keon Ellis ideal. What is the trade? What does that take? And if you make that trade, you have to extend Keegan Murray, because this is an extension year for him, just like it is their same draft. He was 1 pick behind Jaden Ivey. What do you extend him to? Because if you trade for him, you got to extend him.
Yeah. I think like you would feel pretty comfortable giving him at least a 3-year deal.
3-year what?
70 mil.
You 70, think you take that? 3 or
75? 75? I think $25 million for Keegan Murray, like anywhere from 25 to 30, like for 2 to 3 years, is something that I'm comfortable with. Because he's putting up Tobias numbers on a bad team, or like in a bad situation. Like I think his shit gets way better here. And I think like whatever, if you were willing to pay Tobias like 25-ish or what is it, 26 a year?
26, yeah.
Yeah, like certainly I would pay Keegan Murray. I would probably pay him like 27, 28.
So let's say he wanted 30. And then you also have to extend Keon because Keon right now is getting paid like $2 million a year.
He's a 3-and-D4 who's healthy. He plays games.
Right. Both these guys do. That's the case with both. They're both always playing.
But I think the 3-and-D of it all is really hard to find. Like, how much better? Let me ask you something. And this is like a legitimate question. It's not a challenge. How much better is Lauri Markkanen than John Collins?
I think marketably.
Okay. Because I'm just thinking about like tall guys who can shoot and like fill it up. And like John Collins had a really good season last season. Like, and I'm just like, is he double his contract better? Because I think that's sort of what he makes.
One was a starter, one was a backup.
Yeah, but John Collins put up
numbers.
He put up 19-8 and 2-1. He put up on better splits, mind you.
What was his volume for shooting from three? Because I also want.
I got to look that up because I just sort of like was throwing that out there, like legitimately just asking. Last season, 19, 8, 2, and a steal. I gotta look up. I gotta go to Yahoo because that's my go. But I didn't expect the. Now I just want to know what their contract is because I feel like
John
Lauri Markkanen makes like double what.
Probably. I mean, I think John Collins is making like close to 30 right now. The three.
Oh, is he?
I think so. I think so. Here's one thing that's different about him. John Collins shoots 3.7 3-pointers a game. Lauri shoots like 7+.
Yeah, but he doesn't shoot 40% anymore.
He shoots 37.
Like, I know, but
they're similar shooters from deep. And also, let me give you John Collins' numbers the last 3 years: 39%, 37%, 29%.
Okay.
I'm not like trying to shut it down because I was also interested in John Collins.
Well, before the year where he shot, Lowry's been streaky too, and you're right on more volume. But like in 22, he shot like 36. In 20, he shot like 34. Like he kind of had his breakout recently. I mean, he's only had of like his 8 seasons, he's had like 3 that are over 37% from 3. And I understand the volume, but I'm just saying, like, I think Lowry's contract is a little nuts compared to like what I'm just trying to be a little frugal, man. I'm just trying to like, I'm trying to like find like moves around the margins where it's like, okay, you're right. He's not your like obvious number 2, like all-star candidate maybe, but like he is reliable. He's healthy. He plays games and defense and shoots like, and like, I think like one thing I'll really hear is like, we don't know that Keegan Murray can fill it up like he did his rookie year. I'll hear that, but I kind of think he would with Cade. Like, no, I kind of think he would get him good looks. So I don't know. I'd take the deal. I'm just like, I don't think Trajan does it. Like, I don't think Trajan trades Tobias Harris this season. Like, I
think it only happens if it's closer to the trade deadline. I don't
it's
think
like a handshake deal where he like brings it unless Tobias, you're saying like, unless Tobias has like a really disappointing.
No, unless like this Lauri deal gets like too good to say no to, and in case Tobias like slacks a little bit on top of it. But like again, let's bring it back to just comparing these 2 deals. Lauri for the deal proposed, like Jaden Ivey, Tobias Harris, Bobby Klintman, 2 firsts, or the Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray for like, it has to be Jaden
Ivey and Tobias and
Tobias. But the money is like nothing then. Like then you have to send multiple firsts. I think
we would have to send multiple firsts.
I think we have to send at least 2.
Why?
Because as far as like the money,
Ivy is like probably more of a proven quantity than Keon Ellis.
I guess that's true, but their guard situations already is what it is, right? Like
for now, though, like I mean, who knows if Malik Monk is going to be there? Mm-hmm. Like Dennis Schroeder is not a long-term solution. As much as I love Herr Schroeder, but I don't know. I think they need their like guy of the future. Like they love a De'Aaron Fox type. Mm-hmm. They love an athletic lead guard. I don't know. I don't know that you need to like send more than a pick, if that. Like,
Mhm.
because and like the nice thing about Tobias is he's expiring.
He is expiring.
So like that's money that they don't have to worry. That makes them flexible, and they've got a Jaden Ivey on their hands.
They wouldn't take Tobias though because the money wouldn't match up. Like we're talking about if it's Keon Ellis and we'd have to take something back. We'd probably have to take Malik Monk back in exchange.
Cool. Then we got a backup point guard.
I guess that's true.
Yeah,
I guess that's
cool.
true.
I would love Malik Monk off the bench. He's a dog.
Yeah.
He's another guy who has suffered from like sort of a weird situation. Like I kind of like that, man. And I think it makes you really flexible. So like, yeah, I'd pay Keegan Murray like close to 30 mil, and I don't know what Keon Ellis needs to make. I don't know that much about Keon Ellis's game, to be totally honest. I know he's a 3-and-D guard.
He's good. I think he shoots like 4 or 5 threes a game, shoots like close to 40%.
And they're going to squander him. Like these guys are both guys that are going to get squandered there unless they like offload Levine and DeRozan fast.
Right.
Like
I asked a guy who is a writer for like about the Kings. He follows the Kings on Blue Sky. Goddamn, I should look up who that is because he was very kind in responding back to me about it. Let me see if I can find him real quick. Greg G Wiz on Blue Sky. He said, I asked him about Keon specifically. He said, I think they want to extend / re-sign him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he walks next summer since they picked up his option and now he'll be a UFA this year. So like, who knows? Who knows what the market is on him? Like if you want to compare it to what's going on with Grimes, like Grimes wants 20 to 25 million a year, and Grimes puts up like mad fucking points.
I don't want to compare it to Grimes. I don't like what Grimes is doing. But I know you mean 3-and-D guards. Yes,
right. 3-and-D guards where Grimes scores more. Like he on a bad team, but still, it's not like the Kings are a good team. It's just
I'm
like
so sick of this coulda woulda Grimes situation. I'm so sick of this.
I'm just using him as an example.
No, it's a great example. It makes sense. It makes sense.
And it sounds like they don't the deal that potentially got offered to Grimes by Philadelphia was 4 years, 39 million, which is less than 10 mil a year. So that means that you could potentially get Keon Ellis for 10 mil a year, maybe a little bit more. Like, yeah, that's sick. Like if you get him for that, and he's like your starting guy, and like you got Keegan Murray, that's great. Again, the only hiccup is who is your secondary scorer? Who's picking up all these points? And the reason I say I wait till the trade deadline to do it is we got to see what Ron's got. You have to know what Ron has.
Yeah, I just don't know if we move the ball and everyone can most everyone can shoot and play defense. Like, I don't know that we need the secondary star this year. I want to hear. I didn't realize we got Trev Dog in the chat. We got Trevor here. Total sicko. Total. Trevor, if you're just joining us, we're having a debate between
two potential trades. Two potential trades.
What, you want to break it down for him?
I'm going to give up what the proposed trade that I'm pitching is, and then the proposed trade that you're pitching, right?
Sure. Yeah.
You can give the year one because I still want to know the details of it a little bit. I just want you to solidify them. So the one I'm pitching is the one that Michael Pina proposed for Bleach Report, saying Lauri Markkanen for Jaden Ivey, Tobias Harris, Bobby Klintman, 2 first-round picks. Mickey's proposal.
Okay. Jaden Ivey, Tobias Harris for Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis.
And probably Malik Monk would have to be in there.
And Malik Monk, and we throw in oh my God, that makes us so deep.
Probably first.
Let's say a first round pick. Let's say a first round draft pick. So while you're ruminating on that, Trevor, I don't know that, by the way, the Jazz take that deal that
I don't know either. All I know is that they gave away John Collins.
I don't know that the Kings take my deal, by the way, but
that's why I threw in the first.
Right. Yeah. Throw in the first, and I'm trying to think if I would do 2, but I'm just thinking about two-way depth and not hamstringing your cap for the future. And Harry, Trevor, is thinking about a true second option. I think both of these things are. Sorry, did I put words in your mouth?
You're right. They're both valid. If you follow the Pistons polls or game theory, Simon brings up all the time on championship teams. The championship teams of the last 10 years, what did the secondary score?
20 points.
It's always 20 points. I can't even think of the last time the championship team had someone who didn't score that many points.
Ron's gonna be a 20 PPG guy, dude.
I
think Ron I think that's the core of this. Like what's underneath this is like, and because I hear you about Asar, like not necessarily ever cracking that and like being a great player in other ways. I do think Ron is gonna be a terror. Like I could see him being like a not quite as good Jaylen Brown, but like
if Ron is shooting 35% from 3 and finishing the way he was finishing, my mind changes considerably more.
Disrupting the way that he does too.
Because then you don't even need Keon Ellis at that point, because then
I don't know
you have you have your 2 of the future.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is an interesting. I love this conversation because I unlike with most things, I see both sides.
This is one of the rare
lot of good people on both sides.
This is one of the rare occasions when both sides have like proper value and statistical evidence to back it up on top of it, and there's no hate behind the both sides here. It's also funny. So like, if you hear this podcast, hit us up on the emails, hit us up on Blue Sky, and also like and subscribe. Get following on here. We're trying to get to figgies. We've been stuck at 90 for a minute, and the season's about to start. Y'all get us up to triple figgies.
I gotta say something else too, Harry, and I think I know the real reason why you want Lauri Markkanen on this team, and it has nothing to do with basketball. It is all about the disc. It's all about disc golf. He's Finnish. These Finns, they love their disc golf. He did a little celly. He did a little celly, which respectfully, the dumbest celly I've ever seen.
It wasn't a great celebration, but shout out to celebrating your nation's number one sport. And like the worlds were just in, I believe, Finland as well. Like at least they're in Europe. I got to remember what course it was that the world disc golf tournament was at, and it was fucking awesome. I gotta say, it was fucking awesome. And you think I'm not gonna be like hitting him up nonstop to make some fucking disc golf content? I want it for the Order of the Blazing Horse, dude. I want it for the future of our show. And disc golf is just good for the body. Trevor has a response, so let's give a shout out to Trevor and get back into this disc golf conversation. Trevor says, "I love Ivy, and I think he has a lot of potential, but unsure how he comes back from injury. But he is young at least. Tobias is aging, but still consistent. Everyone loves Bobby, but will he ever actually eventually be part of the rotation? 2 firsts isn't crazy for Lauri. I love him. He's great. I think he'd be a great fit next to Cade, but it's quite a bit to give up still and doesn't cap us out a bit." So
sounds
Trevor,
like he's hedging. He's hedging.
What are we talking about here?
No, that's Nightbot. That's the bot.
I got to say Nightbot, and then like there's another one I set up. They're finally like kicking in. It's been 56 episodes, and they just started showing up last episode. I kind of forgot that I did 2 signed up. It was so funny. One canceled the other out. It's like, yo, take it easy in the chat, bot. And it's like, you're both bots. That's our chat essentially. Outside of Trevor, sometimes is Twitter. It's just bot hate crime going on there. So Trevor, you got to tell us, simple as this, which idea do you prefer? Do you prefer the Lauri trade or the Keegan / Malik Monk trade?
And by the way, if need be, I'll throw in an extra pick for mine because I think the Monk thing makes it. I'm having a hard time believe that they would do like a 3-for-2 with like Monk is a player of value.
They want to get want to get off Monk.
Right. But I still think
I don't think to get him.
Okay.
So I don't think it's crazy.
Okay. So
monetarily, yours makes a lot of sense. The question is, do you want well spread players that don't strap your team's cap space as much without having to give up as much, or do you want a guaranteed
for sure number 2 guy
with
who's
more
7 foot who can shoot?
Right.
Yeah.
And with a track record. So but that'll cost more. That's essentially what it comes.
Trevor, you're the GM, man.
Yeah.
Help us out here. For those of you listening to this after the fact, we've got a true fan listening, a true Pistons fan, and this whole hypothetical hinges on his.
You're the decider.
Yeah, dude.
If you're out there and you're listening or you're watching, you can also comment to us on Blue Sky.
Yes, please do.
You know,
maybe we'll make a poll or something. Put it on Blue Sky. I like that.
Let's do a poll on Blue Sky.
I think it's been a minute.
I kind of love it. And people don't think that they'd give up Keegan Murray, but like, who the fuck knows what this team is doing? They didn't.
It's a hypothetical. It's a hypothetical. You know, and one of the poll questions can be like, "This is unrealistic. You guys are high. Like, why am I even?" Well, yeah, right.
Gotta hit the store.
But truly, this whole conversation is just born of like me and Harry like messaging each other, shooting the shit, talking about ideas for the team because we're excited. So we hope you're having fun. There's nothing else to do besides brainstorm ideas and watch
basketball movies.
Which is a
great transition by Mickey. Wonderful stuff. We were suggested. I don't remember who said. If you could,
was it Trevor? It wasn't Trevor.
Trevor, was this you? You got to. This is your what number
the
one
goat?
answer. Which is better? Number two. Did you tell us to watch the Earl Manigault goat? The legend of Earl Manigault.
Someone did.
Rebound. It was called Rebound. Sorry.
Rebound. Yeah.
Which I didn't know was a made-for-TV movie. I gotta say. And then I started watching this, and I said, "Was this shit made for TV?" And I looked up, and it was fucking made for TV, despite the cast.
The cast is insane.
Insane. The cast is superstars, dude.
Holy shit.
Don Cheadle, the lead. James Earl Jones.
Forrest Whitaker.
Like it's there. So many more people. All right, let's quick answer this.
Yeah.
Trevor says Asar playing shooting guard could work if Ivy were gone. So I think the Lauri trade would be work in theory really well. So that's what I'm telling Gorez after the show.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Reach out. Tell him over the glass table.
Yeah.
If you catch my drift. Holland stepping up big.
It was him.
That was him. It was the
Yeah.
Okay, Trevor. I'm glad you're here for it. Mickey, what did you think about Rebound?
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was super melodramatic. Like it feels like a made for TV movie. But I did think the subject matter was really interesting. I didn't know a lot about Earl the GOAT, especially because like the GOAT is such a like this is pre greatest of all time GOAT. This is GOAT. Mm-hmm. This is truly a guy's name. I know like little to nothing about Rucker Park, like other than that it's just like street ball mecca and like that whole scene, but like I've not consumed a bunch of media about it. Crazy cast, crazy cameos. I do think it like suffers from that thing where like Don Cheadle is 32 playing like 17-year-old or something, which is like pushing it a little bit. But there were some really good performances. I thought it had its moments. It's not my favorite movie of all time because it's just sort of like, a downward spiral. Just like there's not like it's just like based off a true story, which is really sad. But I mean, it was interesting for me to like learn something about a subculture within basketball that I don't know anything really about. How did you feel, Harry?
So I was gifted a book for my birthday many years ago called Asphalt Gods, which is like the history of street basketball and the history of Rucker Park. So I knew this story a bit, not totally, but like spoiler alert, you know the story. You might not know this individual, but you know this story. You know a lot of potential. Bad things happen. You get mixed up with drugs. Your life is over, right? Don Cheadle,
I'm laughing at
56. So funny. Oh my God, just rain on him, huh? But like, I didn't care for the movie because the made-for-TV vibes are so fucking insane, and Don Cheadle looks out of control playing basketball.
By the way, 5'8".
Is he
5'8"? Yeah, for us short, which is, by the way, a couple inches taller than myself. But from one short king to it, and the real Earl Manigault, I looked this up, was like 6'1".
Yeah, 6'1".
But it's just crazy because the whole thing is that he's a high flyer, like he's a leaper. He's got a crazy vert.
I think the cutting they did when he would start jumping and then cut to him like millions of miles in the air was bad.
Creative,
Like,
yeah.
was very bad. Because
That's from a professional editor, ladies and gentlemen. That's from a...
Here's the tip. Do it in constant motion. Don't do it when Don Cheadle is starting to come back down to the fucking ground. You cut, like, it was...
It's goaltending on the Cheadle jump.
the inertia isn't going up anymore. Anyway,
you can't
like,
cut when he's on the way down. That's automatic 2 points.
It's so heavy-handed. It's so over the top with stuff that's happening and the stuff they say and like the nods and the "you're doing good" and the "you're doing bad." The guy who plays like the street lord or whatever who gets him into drugs, those scenes when they're at like the parties when everyone's taking drugs and like trying to get him to hook up with women are hilarious. When they're at the party at that guy's sister's house, he's like, "Oh, you taking this shit? Oh, it smell like stanky pussy in there." It's so fucking funny.
All the guys watching him make out with her over the thing. It's pretty great.
It's wild. It's just, to me, not a very compelling movie, and it's not a story I needed to know about. I also looked it up because at the end of the movie, it's like he took over Harlem. He took over Rucker Park, and he started a tournament there. He turned his life around. He actually got back into drugs like 2 more times, which is how it happens. That happens a lot. The getting over addiction is like really fucking tough. And then he eventually, I mean, you work through it, and that's promising. I'm happy for him. He died of heart failure because of drugs many years down the way, but like the concept of the story is all right. It's just so made for TV. It just has so much made for TV.
The melodrama is that when he's at the college game and he's like fucking James Earl Jones like comes in, is like, you got to tell him right now that Rucker is dying or he's died. And he tells him, and he just goes, "No! Oh, no!
Why would you tell him he's about to go into the game, dude?"
Terrible. Guess what? It has a huge effect on him. It really throws him off. It's like arguably the thing that like sends him down a really bad spiral. But
the actor who plays
poor timing.
The actor who plays the coach is this huge actor.
Clarence, yeah, he rocks.
I fucking love him.
He's great. He's great.
In that movie, he does the thing that drives me crazy. Pass the ball 4 times. How many movies we gotta watch where a coach is saying just that? That's
4
now
times.
3. Hoosiers, Eddie, and friggin' the Rebound. It's just like such a recurring theme in
of like ball hogs and like guys who don't know how to play, like, but yeah, like this quota of like the amount of times you have to swing. It's a very funny idea. There was some other really funny stuff. The drug dealer has a bar, or at least he seems to think it's a bar. He says, "It's been a business doing pleasure with you."
Yeah, he drops that, right?
He's like, and he's so proud of himself. He's like, "No, I said what I said." Like,
he's also he's got the 5-year-old girl counting money in the desk next to him, and it's like, isn't there like a room that this can go down? Like, this is so heavy-handed. Trevor says gonna borrow 60 mil from Goros and create the Rebound / He Got Game crossover you guys clearly want to see. Don't worry, it'll still be made for TV. So we'll see.
By the way, there's a ton of cursing in it too. Like, there's a
much.
lot of fucks, and I'm like, what was this on like HBO or something, or was it like bleeped, or I don't know how this flew, but man, Kevin Garnett as Wilt the Stilt. By the way, like one thing I noticed is that like I have to like check out more Earl Monroe stuff, because I feel like every time we watch a basketball movie, like everyone's like, Earl was the man. Like Earl is the guy that everybody like talks about. So I want to like go back and really like watch some Earl the Pearl.
I ain't talking about the New York Earl the Pearl. I'm talking about Philly. Like, Jesus, that Earl the Pearl, right? That's when you got to get into it. Man. Like, you check more of that stuff out. Like, I don't know, like how much footage you can find. I'm sure there's like some, but
I'll bet you there's some.
It's legendary. And read this book, Asphalt Kings. If you're a basketball fan, read Asphalt Kings. Oh, it's awesome.
How about the Dr. Cox cameo at the end?
That's right.
Speaking of books, McKinley.
Can I get your autograph on this? In jail. He's in fucking
addiction
jail.
Doesn't care what color you are. He's like the cool prison guard. It's like,
or at least exploiting him.
He's like, but do write something cool in my book.
Yeah.
I will let you read it. My favorite moment of
can you just sign the book?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Pretty good, Cox. My favorite moment in the movie was the double dunk.
Oh yeah, and everyone's like, oh, the guy with the hairline was like, oh,
That's two.
and then they
That's
run.
two. Yeah.
Run because they're gonna get their ass beat by everyone at that park.
You
for
can't do that.
whatever
do that.
reason. But
You
like,
can't do that. That was hilarious.
that movie was longer than it had any business being. On top of that, like, I could
Yeah.
not believe
It's like $1.47. It was not short especially for a made TV. Can you imagine with commercials? That must have been like 3 hours.
that's made for an afternoon, right?
Yeah.
That's a whole day.
That's a full day.
How about when Homeboy shows up with the 2 hooks for hands, still trying to get that smack?
With the needle, man. With
Yeah.
the needle operating. He's pretty good too, actually. He's actually doing work in that movie. I forget his name. He's also a comedian. I forget. I've like seen him in things. There's a lot of really great people in this. And you know what I think? Like, made for TV and all, super melodramatic. It seems like people know the story of Earl and like wanted to like be a part of this. Like, Kareem is like in the intro. Oh, sorry. Funniest thing that I'm looking up Kareem and Earl, and this is in like, this was not that long ago. Holy shit, I gotta find this. Oh my god, where are my tabs? I've got so many tabs. Here it is.
Oh, Loretta Devine, also in the movie. Shout out to Loretta Devine playing Miss Mary, Sister Mary, or whatever, taking care of him.
She's really good. I've seen her in stuff.
Grey's Anatomy, shout out.
Kareem in August of 2025 says Earl was overrated.
Oh, did you really?
Disparaging the GOAT. The movie opens with him saying like he was the man. Like, that's the one people don't know. It's like he's the guy. And then like a year ago, he was like, last summer, he was like, Earl was overrated.
We said that shit earlier. Fucking hypocrisy.
No, it was like in August. It was like in August that he said this. He said he was he couldn't shoot from beyond 8 feet. He could leap out the gym, but so he seems like kind of a, oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? Who played for the Pistons, who was really athletic but couldn't shoot.
Oh, Hamidou Diallo.
Thank you, Hami. Yeah. Yes, like a real Diallo type. But yeah, I love Kareem just like throwing shade at poor.
Let me toss in some people that I didn't realize were in this movie.
Just disparaging a dead man. Yeah, go ahead.
Don Cheadle's brother, Colin Cheadle, played young Earl in the movie.
Okay.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
Daryl Mitchell was in this movie. You'll know Daryl Mitchell. You look him up. I'm assuming you will. But that like kind of blows my mind that he's in this movie. Joe Smith played Connie Hawkins in this movie. And then this Chick Hearn's in this movie. But this one blows my mind. Robert Rodriguez is in this movie.
Yeah, I saw that. Wait, who is he?
I have no idea. How is he in this movie?
I don't know. I because I saw the picture go up. I was like, I meant to look this up, but I, like, full disclosure, watched the movie today.
Sure.
Like, just cramming Trev, just trying to get him in. Yeah, I actually like the guy who played Eric LaSalle, the drug dealer. But yeah, I don't know who Rodriguez was. That's a crazy thing.
Yes. Spy Kids, Machete. Yes, those are the titles. People love
Yes.
Spy Kids, I know, and Machete. But
I'm a big Planet Terror guy.
Are you a big Planet Terror guy?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I saw Grindhouse in theaters. It was the best.
People have told me I've got to get back into. Is this the same Robert Rodriguez? Because, like, right now he's known.
The Image comes up.
Yeah, I think it might be a different one because he's known for New York Undercover, Rebound, and Law and Order. One episode.
It's got to be just a mess up on Google's part.
Rodriguez.
Okay, because I was like that. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It'd be so crazy if that was him.
Yeah.
Because the picture shot, I was like, get out of here. But we got to close this up. So Mickey, let's close up on an episode or a movie that you want to see. Because Trevor, you gave us one, but like, is there one, Mickey, that you've been kind of fiending for at this point?
There is. And you brought this up, but I've never seen it and I want to see it. And other friends of mine have brought it up when I've asked them their favorite basketball movies. We are going to watch The Sixth Man.
Sixth Man, AK all the way.
Get ready.
I can't wait. That movie was so fun for me when I was young. Spoiler, I enjoyed it a lot growing up. I can't wait to watch it again. let's give it a watch. I believe it's starring Marlon Wayans and Kadeem Hardison. Is that right?
We'll find out.
The Sixth Man.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Kadeem Hardison, David Paymer's in it. I love David Paymer. He's so funny and so much shit. It's a fun movie. It's a goofy movie. If you haven't seen The Sixth Man, do you know what The Sixth Man is about, Mickey?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
If you're out there, you don't know what The Sixth Man's about. Basketball playing brothers. They're the better brother. He's going to go to the NBA. He's about to be a stud, but they're both on the same team. He has a heart attack and dies playing basketball. But then his ghost comes back because the team needs him and his brother needs him. It's a fucking blast. Trevor says, what a great movie. Marlon is so good in it. Gonna watch it too. Haven't seen it in so long. Yo, we're spreading the joy. So come back next week.
Fun. This is fun.
We'll talk next week. We'll talk Media Day, because I think Media Day will have happened. We'll talk Sixth Man. We'll be back to our normal time because my wife will be back, so I don't have to do this podcast early, so I can put the chickens to bed before the sun shuts down to worry about the critters. Mickey, you got any closing statements, man?
I don't. This was a lot of fun. I love just when it's you and I chopping it up about Pistons, messing around in the chat with Trev Dog. We're having a good time, and nothing's even going on. So imagine how much fun we're gonna have when things kick up. So subscribe, stay with us. We've got a vibe over here. We've got a vibe. We're growing grassroots style. Is it fast? No. It's slow, it's gradual, but we're loving it. And Harry, anything to add before you go tend to your flock?
Just know, Lauri, if you're watching, we got some great disc golf courses out here. They're so beautiful. Some great wooded courses, some open courses. And if you're out there and you're in the Metro Detroit area and you want to play disc golf with me too, feel free to reach out, and I will rattle the chains with you all day long. I'm available. I'm on UDisc. I go by Harry Bob in the disc golf world. So it's a whole different sort of vibe. And with that, we're going to close out. We'll see you next week. See you next week, Trevor. As he says, preseason's almost here. And we close the show the same way we do every week. And that is by saying the acronym for Roar the Blazing Horse loud, because that's how a horse would say it. So I've been Harry.
And I'm Mickey.